The human ship descended through purple clouds toward the Valoran homeworld. Taman pressed his face against the window, watching the alien city grow larger below. Crystal towers reached toward twin suns, reflecting light in colors he had never seen before. His hands trembled slightly. This was humanity's first real meeting with an advanced alien race, and he was just a junior engineer who fixed things. Ambassador Heijin stood at the front of the shuttle, reviewing her notes one more time. She looked calm and professional in her diplomatic uniform. Behind her sat Ji-won, a scientist who couldn't stop talking about Valoran technology. Taman tried to focus on their conversation, but his stomach felt tight with nerves. The shuttle landed in a courtyard made of something that looked like glass but felt warm under their feet. Valoran guards waited for them, tall and elegant. Their skins seemed to be made of crystal that shifted colors slowly. One guard's skin was pale blue. Another's was soft green. They wore flowing robes that moved like water. A Valoran woman approached them. Her skin glowed with gentle golden light. "Welcome to our world," she said in perfect English. "I am Princess Ares. My father, the Emperor, awaits you." Taman stared. He had seen pictures of Valorans, but standing near one was different. Princess Ares was nearly 7 feet tall, with large eyes that seemed to see everything. When she looked at him, he quickly looked away. The palace was beyond anything Taman had imagined. Hallways stretched endlessly, with walls that showed moving images of Valoran history. Princess Ares led them through rooms filled with strange devices and beautiful art. She explained things patiently, her skin changing to warm orange when she seemed excited. "This is our power core," she said, gesturing to a massive door. "It has run for 3,000 years without stopping." Ji-won asked technical questions that Taman barely understood. Heijin took notes and smiled diplomatically. Taman just tried not to trip over his own feet. Then, alarms started screaming. Red light flooded the hallway. Valoran engineers ran past them, their skin flashing bright white with fear. Princess Ares spoke rapidly in her own language to one of them. Her skin turned dark gray. "There is a problem with the core," she said to the humans. "You must leave immediately." But Heijin stepped forward. "What kind of problem?" "The containment field is failing," Ares said. Her voice stayed steady, but her skin kept changing colors rapidly. "If the core explodes, it will destroy half the city. We have maybe 2 hours." Taman followed the group as they rushed toward the core room. He knew he should stay back, but something pulled him forward. Inside, dozens of Valoran engineers worked frantically at control panels. Their skin was pure white, showing their terror. Through a thick window, Taman could see the core itself. It looked like a small sun trapped in a cage of light. The light flickered and sparked. Every few seconds, the cage seemed to shrink. "We cannot stabilize it," an old Valoran engineer said. His skin was almost transparent with age. "The system is too old. We have never needed to repair it before." Taman moved closer to the window. He studied the core, the flickering light, the pattern of the sparks. Something about it seemed familiar. Back on Earth, he had worked on fusion reactors during his training. They were much smaller and simpler than this, but the principle might be the same. "What if you reverse the magnetic flow?" he said quietly. Everyone turned to look at him. Princess Ares moved to his side. "Explain," she said. Taman felt his face grow hot. All these brilliant alien minds were staring at him. "The containment field is collapsing inward," he said. "You are trying to push it back out. But what if you let it collapse, then rebuild it from the inside out, like resetting a circuit breaker?" The old engineer's skin flashed red. "Impossible. That would require shutting down the core completely. We have never done this. Do you have a better idea?" Princess Ares asked sharply. Silence filled the room. Taman could hear his own heartbeat. "Let the human try," Ares said. Her skin glowed violet, a color Taman didn't recognize. The next hour was chaos. Taman worked with Valoran engineers, trying to explain concepts in words that translated badly. He drew diagrams with shaking hands. The Valorans had tools he didn't understand, so he asked for simple things: wire, conductors, basic magnetic coils. The Valorans looked confused when he pulled apart their elegant equipment and rebuilt it in crude arrangements. But Princess Ares stayed beside him, translating, helping, trusting him. With 10 minutes left, Taman activated his makeshift system. The core's light dimmed, flickered, and went completely dark. For 3 terrible seconds, nothing happened. Then new light bloomed from the center, steady and strong. The containment field rebuilt itself, layer by layer, exactly as Taman had hoped. The room erupted in shouts and strange Valoran sounds that might have been cheering. Engineers surrounded Taman, touching his shoulders and arms. Their skin glowed with gold and bright green. Princess Ares stood apart, watching him. Her skin had turned a deep, rich gold that seemed to glow from within. When their eyes met, she smiled. It was a very human expression on an alien face. That evening, at the formal dinner, Princess Ares stood before the assembled court. "Today, this human saved our city," she announced. "He saw what we could not see. He did what we believed. Impossible." The Valoran nobles whispered among themselves. Their skin colors changed rapidly, showing confusion and surprise. Taman sat at the table, trying to make himself small. He wasn't used to attention. He had just done his job, just fixed a problem. That was all. But Princess Ares kept watching him throughout the dinner. Her skin stayed that deep golden color, and Taman began to realize that something had changed. Something that would affect far more than just one repaired reactor. 3 days passed in a blur of meetings and ceremonies. Taman felt out of place in every one of them. The Valoran court was ancient and formal, with rules about who could speak when and where people should stand. He kept making small mistakes that made the noble's skin flash with irritation. Ambassador Hejin handled everything perfectly, as always. She negotiated trade agreements and cultural exchanges with smooth words and patient smiles. Jiwon bonded with Valoran scientists over complicated theories. Taman just tried not to embarrass humanity, but Princess Ares kept appearing wherever he went. She would ask him questions about Earth, about human history, about how he learned to solve problems. Her skin glowed golden whenever they spoke. Other Valorans noticed and whispered behind their hands. On the 3rd day, Emperor Velthar held a grand ceremony in the Crystal Hall. Thousands of Valorans attended, their skin glowing in every color imaginable. Human delegates sat in a special section, wearing their best formal clothes. Taman tugged at his collar nervously. The Emperor was enormous, even for a Valoran. His skin was deep silver, showing his age and wisdom. When he spoke, everyone listened, in complete silence. "Today marks a new era," he said. "Humanity has reached beyond their world to meet us. We welcome this alliance between our peoples." Hejin stood and gave a graceful speech about cooperation and friendship. The Valoran nobles politely changed their skin to soft green, showing approval. Then Commander Cross stepped forward. Cross was a military leader, obvious from his bearing and the scars that showed as dark lines on his crystal skin. He was huge, even among Valorans, and his skin kept shifting to aggressive red. "With respect, Emperor," Cross said, "I must speak truthfully. Humans are primitives. They have barely left their own star system. Their technology is crude. Their lifespans are short. They succeeded with our reactor through luck, nothing more." Murmurs filled the hall. Some Valoran skin glowed red in agreement. Others turned uncertain yellow. Hejin's face stayed calm, but Taman could see her jaw tighten. She started to stand, but Taman found himself speaking first. "May I respond?" he asked quietly. Everyone turned to look at him. The hall fell silent. Taman felt his heart hammering, but he stood up. "You call us primitive," he said, "and you are right. We don't have technology that lasts 3,000 years. Our ships are slower than yours. We can't change the color of our skin to show emotion. Cross's skin flashed satisfied red. But we survived, Taman continued. Earth never gave us anything easily. We had no natural weapons, no thick skin, no ability to breathe different atmospheres. We were weak and soft, so we learned to think. We learned to adapt. We learned to solve problems in new ways, because the old ways would kill us. He looked around the hall. Some Valorans were listening now, their skin shifting to attentive blue. You built your reactor 3,000 years ago, Taman said. You relied on it being perfect forever. Humans can't rely on anything being perfect. We break things and fix them every day. That's not luck. That's survival. Insolent, Cross growled. His skin went darker red. You insult our civilization. I speak the truth, Taman said. Humanity wants to be your friend. We can learn from you, and maybe you can learn from us. But we won't be called primitive by someone who can't fix his own machines. The hall erupted. Valoran nobles shouted in their language. Skin colors flashed everywhere. Red, and orange, and purple. Heijin grabbed Taman's arm. Her face pale. Cross stepped down from the platform, moving toward Taman. He was massive, easily twice Taman's size. You dare, Cross said. I challenge you to a trial of worth. We will see if human pride matches human skill. Taman had no idea what that meant, but it didn't sound good. He opened his mouth to respond. Princess Ares stood up. She moved with incredible speed, placing herself between Taman and Cross. Her skin flashed bright violet, a color so intense it seemed to glow. The hall went completely silent. That human is mine, Ares said clearly. Her voice carried to every corner of the massive room. Any challenge to him is a challenge to me. Gasps echoed through the hall. Velaron noble's skin flashed white with shock. Emperor Velthar stood from his throne, his silver skin darkening. Ares, he said slowly. You know what those words mean. I do, father, she said. Her skin stayed that deep violet. I claim Taman as my chosen companion. He is under my protection. Friend, said. Friend. Friend. Violet. The hall exploded with noise. Velerans shouted and argued. Skin colors flashed so rapidly it looked like lightning. Heijin stared at Ares, with wide eyes. Jiwan's mouth hung open. Taman just stood frozen. He didn't understand Valoran customs, but he understood this was huge. Cross's skin went almost black with rage. Princess, this is madness. A human? As your chosen? This is against all tradition. Tradition? Ares turned to face him. Our tradition says I may choose any worthy being as my companion. Taman proved his worth by saving this city. What have you done lately? Commander, besides complain about others? Several younger Valorans made sounds that might have been laughs. Their skins sparkled with amusement. Emperor Velthar raised his hand for silence. Gradually, the noise died down. Explain yourself, he said quietly. Ares turned to face the court. Her skin stayed violet, but Taman could see her hands trembling slightly. I have watched humans carefully these past days, she said. They think differently than we do. They see solutions we miss. They have achieved so much in such a short time. Father, we have been the strongest race in this region for 10,000 years. But strength made us comfortable. We stopped growing. We stopped learning. She gestured at Taman. This human solved our reactor problem in minutes. Not because he is smarter than our engineers, but because he thinks in ways we have forgotten. Humanity is young and still growing. I want to learn from them. I want to understand how they see the world. And I will not let Commander Cross or anyone else, diminish them simply because they are different from us. The hall was quiet now. Valorans looked at each other uncertainly. Some skin colors shifted toward thoughtful blue. Emperor Velthar studied his daughter, then looked at Taemin. Taemin tried to stand straight and look worthy, though he felt completely lost. "Very well," the Emperor finally said. "Taemin will remain at court for 1 lunar cycle. During this time, Princess Ares will demonstrate the worth of her claim. If she succeeds, the alliance will be strengthened. If she fails..." He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't need to. Ares's skin brightened to gold. She bowed to her father, then turned to Taemin. Up close, he could see complex patterns moving through her crystalline skin. "I hope you don't mind," she said softly. Taemin laughed, a bit hysterically. "I don't think I have a choice." "You always have a choice," Ares said. "I just made mine." Taemin's new quarters in the palace were larger than his entire apartment back on Earth. The walls showed holographic scenes of alien landscapes. A bed that adjusted to his body temperature stood in one corner. Everything was beautiful and strange, and made him feel very far from home. Princess Ares visited him the next morning. She brought what looked like a Valoran datapad, though it floated in the air instead of being held. "I want to learn about Earth," she said without preamble. "Everything. Your history, your culture, your art. Will you teach me?" Taemin blinked. "I'm just an engineer. There are better teachers." "You fixed what our best minds could not," Ares said. Her skin glowed soft gold. "You understand how humans think. That's what I need to learn." So they began. Every day, Ares would come to his quarters or bring him to hers. They would talk for hours. At first, Taemin felt awkward, stumbling over explanations. But Ares asked such thoughtful questions that he relaxed. He showed her recordings of Earth's oceans, mountains, and cities. Her skin sparkled with wonder at the variety. He explained human history. The wars, the struggles, the slow progress from caves to starships. "You fought each other so much," Ares said, her skin shifting to confused yellow. "Why?" "We were scared," Taemin said. "Scared of being hungry, of being conquered, of being different. But we learned. Slowly. We're still learning." He showed her human music. Ares listened to classical symphonies with her eyes closed, her skin rippling with colors. She laughed at rock music, danced clumsily to pop songs. Human art fascinated her, especially abstract paintings. "Valorans make art that is mathematically perfect," she explained. "But this human painting has no symmetry, no order. Yet it makes me feel something." "How?" "That's the point," Taemin said. "Humans don't do things just because they're perfect. We do things because they matter to us." In return, Ares showed him wonders of the Valoran Empire. She took him to gardens where plants sang in harmonics. She showed him libraries where knowledge was stored in crystalline matrices. She explained Valoran history, 10,000 years of slowly expanding through the stars, building beauty and order. "We have been powerful for so long," she said one evening. They sat in her private garden, under stars Taemin didn't recognize. "Perhaps too long. We stopped asking questions. We assumed we knew everything. Nobody knows everything," Taemin said. "Exactly," Ares replied. Her skin glowed deep gold. "That's what I'm trying to make my father understand." But not everyone was happy about their time together. Valoran nobles whispered when Taemin walked past. Their skin flashed with disapproval. Some wouldn't speak to him at all. Valoran passed. One half to. Commander Cross was the worst. He watched Taemin with dark, angry eyes. His skin stayed constant red whenever they crossed paths. He would make comments in Valoran that Taemin couldn't understand, but the tone was clear enough. Other Valorans tested Taemin, challenging him in subtle ways. At a formal dinner, a noble asked him to demonstrate human table manners. Taemin ate carefully with the strange Valoran utensils, trying not to spill anything. Some nobles' skin flashed with amusement, but others shifted to approving blue. At a military demonstration, Cross insisted Taman try Valoran combat training. Taman was terrible at it. The Valoran fighting style required flexibility and reach he simply didn't have. But when they switched to strategy games, Taman's different perspective helped him win 3 matches in a row. Cross's skin went nearly black. "You cheat," Cross said. "I think differently," Taman corrected. "That's not cheating. That's adapting." More humans arrived as the lunar cycle continued. Jiwan brought a team of scientists who started working with Velaron researchers. The collaboration was awkward at first. Velerans expected perfection and careful planning. Humans experimented and learned from failures. "You make so many mistakes," a Valoran scientist told Jiwan. His skin confused yellow. "That's how we learn," Jiwan replied cheerfully. "Every mistake teaches us something. Don't you make mistakes?" "Do. We try not to," the Valoran said uncertainly. "Then how do you discover anything new?" The question seemed to disturb several Valorans. Their skin colors shifted uncomfortably. One evening, the Emperor invited Taman to a private dinner. Ares was there too, along with several high-ranking nobles. Taman tried not to be terrified. "Tell me, human," the Emperor said. "What do you think of our empire?" Taman chose his words carefully. "It's beautiful, ancient, powerful. You've built something that lasted longer than all of human civilization." "But," the Emperor asked, "but nothing lasts forever," Taman said. "Everything needs maintenance. Everything needs to grow and change. Even empires." The noble's skin flashed with offense, but the Emperor's silver skin stayed neutral. "My daughter says similar things," he said. "She claims your people can teach us something. I wonder if she is right, or simply young and fascinated by novelty." Ares's skin flashed angry orange, but she stayed quiet. That night, Taman couldn't sleep. He stood on his balcony, looking at the alien stars. A sound made him turn. Ares stood in the doorway, her skin glowing softly in the darkness. "I'm sorry about my father," she said. "He's not wrong to be skeptical," Taman said. "I'm nobody special, just an engineer who got lucky." "Stop saying that," Ares said. She moved to stand beside him. "You saved a city. You defended humanity in front of the entire court. You've been patient with our customs and gracious about our prejudice. You're teaching me things I never knew I needed to learn." "Like what?" Taman asked. "That perfection isn't the goal," Ares said. Her skin glowed deeper gold. "That mistakes can be valuable. That being different is a strength, not a weakness. That change doesn't have to be frightening." They stood in silence for a moment. Taman was very aware of how close she was, how her skin glowed. Warm colors that he was learning meant affection and trust. "The lunar cycle is almost over," Ares said quietly. "My father will make his decision soon. About the alliance, about us." "Are you worried?" Taman asked. "Yes," she admitted. "But I'm also hopeful, because if a human engineer can save a Valoran city, if a princess can learn from a primitive species, then maybe there's hope for real change, real growth." She turned to face him. Her skin was gold and violet mixed together. Colors that Taman was learning meant something special in Velaron culture, something he didn't quite dare to name. "Thank you, Taman," she said, "for being patient with me, with all of us." "Thank you for defending me," he replied. "For believing humanity was worth the trouble." Ares smiled. "You've never been trouble. You've been a revelation." She left quietly, and Taman stayed on the balcony for a long time, watching alien stars and wondering what would happen when the lunar cycle ended. The Festival of Light came during the final week of the lunar cycle. Velerans filled the palace gardens with glowing decorations. Their skin colors created a living rainbow as they celebrated their ancient traditions. Humans were invited to join, and Heejin encouraged everyone to participate. Taman walked through the crowds with Jiwan, trying strange Velaran foods and watching performances he didn't quite understand. Musicians played instruments that sang with harmonic frequencies. Dancers moved in patterns that seemed mathematical and beautiful. "This is amazing," Jiwan said, her eyes wide. "Earth has nothing like this. Different. Not better or worse," Taman said. Princess Aries found them near a fountain that flowed upward instead of down. Her skin glowed with happy gold and excited orange mixed together. She wore a flowing dress that seemed to be made of light itself. "Are you enjoying the festival?" she asked. "Very much," Taman said. "Thank you for inviting us." "Of course," Aries said. Her skin sparkled. "You're part of this now. Part of us." They walked together through the gardens. Valoran nobles nodded politely to Aries, though many still looked at Taman with uncertain colors. Some younger Valorans approached to ask questions about Earth, their skin bright with curiosity. Taman answered as best he could. The attack came without warning. A beam of energy lanced through the crowd, aimed directly at Taman's chest. He barely had time to register the danger before Aries threw herself in front of him. The beam struck her in the shoulder, and she collapsed. Chaos erupted. Guards appeared instantly, their skin flashing warning red. People screamed and ran. Taman caught Aries as she fell, her skin turning pale and gray. Blood that looked like liquid crystal leaked from the wound. "Aries," he shouted. "Someone help." Jiwan appeared beside him, her medical training taking over. "Lay her flat. Don't move the shoulder." She pulled supplies from the emergency kit she always carried. "This is bad." The energy weapon cauterized the wound, but damaged deep tissue. Human and Valoran medics arrived together. They worked frantically, combining human emergency techniques with Valoran medical technology. Taman held Aries' hand, feeling her skin grow cold under his fingers. "Stay with me," he whispered. "Please stay." Her eyes opened slightly. "Worth it," she breathed. "You're worth it." Then she passed out. They took her to the Palace Medical Center. Taman waited outside with Heijin and Jiwan, while Valoran doctors worked. Emperor Velthar arrived, his silver skin almost white with fear. He looked at Taman with an expression that might have been blame or might have been understanding. "My daughter risks everything for you," the Emperor said quietly. "I know," Taman said. "I would do the same for her." The Emperor's skin shifted, showing some color Taman couldn't identify. Then he went inside to be with Aries. Hours passed. Jiwan brought Taman food he couldn't eat. Heijin tried to talk about security measures. Captain Do-hyun arrived from the human ship with guards, looking grim. "Someone tried to kill you," Do-hyun said. "This wasn't an accident." "I know," Taman said. "But why? What does killing me accomplish?" "It breaks the alliance," Heijin said. Her voice was tired. "If you die, especially if Ares dies protecting you, it proves the conservatives right. That humans are dangerous. That mixing with us brings only trouble." Taman felt cold. "Someone wants the alliance to fail." "Many someones, probably," Do-hyun said. "We need to find them before they try again." A Valoran doctor emerged. His skin was exhausted gray. "The princess will live," he said. "The human medical techniques helped significantly. We're combining our methods. She should wake soon." Relief flooded through Taman. He sagged against the wall. When they finally let him see Aries, she was awake and arguing with her father. Her skin was still pale, but showing hints of normal color. "I will not stay in bed," she was saying. "This attack proves someone wants to stop us. We have to find them." "You nearly died," the Emperor said. His skin showed deep concern. "But I didn't," Aries said. "And now I'm angry." She saw Taman, and her skin brightened to gold. "You're safe. Thanks to you," Taman said. "That was incredibly stupid and incredibly brave." "It was instinct," Aries said. "I saw the danger and moved. I would do it again," Aries said. Jiwan stepped forward, holding a small device. "I analyzed the energy signature from the weapon," she said. "It's Valoran military grade. High-ranking officers only." Everyone turned to look at her. The Emperor's skin flashed angry red. "Commander Cross," Ares said quietly. "It has to be him. He's opposed the alliance from the start." Ares: "Suspicion is not proof," the Emperor said. "I cannot arrest a commander without evidence." "Then, we find evidence," Taman said. Everyone looked at him. "If Cross is behind this, he won't stop. He'll try again. Maybe we can catch him in the act." "That's dangerous," Hagen said. "So is letting him try again when we're not ready," Taman countered. Ares almost died. "I won't let that happen again." Ares smiled, her skin glowing. "See, Father? Humans understand justice. They made a plan. G1 and Valoran technicians would track energy signatures similar to the weapon. Captain Dohyun would quietly investigate military personnel. Taman would continue his normal routine, acting as bait. "Absolutely not," the Emperor said. "It's the only way," Taman argued. "Cross wants me dead. Let him think he has another chance. We'll be ready this time." 3 days later, their patience paid off. G1 detected suspicious energy readings in the old catacombs beneath the palace. Taman and Ares, against everyone's advice, went to investigate. The catacombs were ancient, older than the palace itself. Rough stone walls replaced the elegant crystal of the upper levels. Their footsteps echoed in the darkness. Ares's skin glowed, providing light. They found voices ahead. Carefully, they crept closer. Commander Cross stood with a dozen other Valorans, all military by their bearing. Their skin colors showed determination and anger. "The assassination failed," Cross was saying. "But the human ship is still here. We can sabotage it. Kill all the humans at once. Make it look like mechanical failure. Then we justify military action against Earth. The Emperor will question it," another Valoran said. "The Emperor is weak." Cross spat, corrupted by his daughter's foolish fascination. "Once the humans are dead, he will see reason. We will take Earth before they become a threat. Better to conquer them now, while they're weak." Taman felt Ares tense beside him. Her skin went dark with fury. Before he could stop her, she stepped into the chamber. "So this is Valoran honor," she said coldly. "Sabotage and murder. Attacking guests. Lying to the Emperor." Cross spun around. His skin flashed surprise, then anger. "Princess, how unfortunate that you're here." "It's unfortunate for you," Ares said. "I heard everything. Father will hear everything." "I think not," Cross said. He raised a weapon. "You've been a problem from the start. Always questioning. Always changing things. The Empire doesn't need your kind of progress." The other Valorans raised weapons too. Taman pulled Ares back. They ran. The chase through the catacombs was terrifying. Energy beams lit the darkness. Stone exploded around them. Ares knew the tunnels better, leading them through turns and passages. But Cross and his people were close behind. They burst into a larger chamber. Dead end. Taman looked around frantically. Ancient machinery lined the walls, dormant for centuries. "The old water system," Ares said. "If we can activate it." Taman was already moving. The machinery was primitive by Valoran standards, which meant he understood it. He found manual controls, levers worn smooth by time. Cross and his conspirators entered the chamber. "No more running," Cross said. Taman pulled the lever. Ancient pipes groaned. Then water exploded from vents in the ceiling. 1,000 years of pressure released at once. The chamber flooded in seconds. Valorans shouted and slipped in the sudden current. Ares grabbed Taman's hand. They swam through a side passage as water roared behind them. They surfaced in a fountain in the upper palace, gasping and soaked. Guards surrounded them immediately, weapons drawn. Then they saw Ares and lowered their weapons, skin flashing with relief. "Get my father," Ares commanded, "and arrest Commander Cross and everyone with him. They're in the old catacombs." The water should have slowed them down. Within an hour, Cross and his conspirators were in custody. Dripping wet and furious, they were brought before the Emperor. Ares testified to what she had heard. G1 provided technical evidence. Other Valorans came forward, reporting suspicious activities they had been too afraid to mention before. The Emperor's skin went nearly black with rage. "You would destroy an alliance," he said to Cross. "Murder guests under my protection. Betray everything our empire stands for." "Why?" "To protect us," Cross said. His skin was defiant red. "Humans are dangerous. They change too fast. They question everything. They will corrupt our way of life." "Our way of life is already corrupt," the Emperor said quietly. "If this is what our superiority has become, this fear, this violence." He looked at Ares. "My daughter saw what I was too blind to see. Change is coming, whether we accept it or not. Better to grow with it than be destroyed by it." He sentenced Cross and the conspirators to exile on a distant mining colony. Then, he turned to Taemin. "You have saved my daughter twice now," the Emperor said. "Once from a reactor, once from assassins. Perhaps she chose more wisely than I knew." The Grand Hall had never been so crowded. Valorans filled every available space, their skin glowing in 1,000 different colors. Human delegates stood together near the front, looking small among the tall aliens but standing with quiet confidence. News of the conspiracy had spread across the Empire, and everyone wanted to witness what came next. Emperor Velthar sat on his crystal throne, his silver skin showing colors Taemin had never seen before. Princess Ares stood beside him, her shoulders still bandaged but her skin glowing strong gold. Taemin stood with Hagen and the other humans, trying not to fidget in his formal clothes. The Emperor rose, and silence fell instantly. "We gather today at the end of a lunar cycle," he said. His voice carried to every corner of the vast hall. "A cycle that has changed everything. We welcomed humans to our world as curiosity. We are ending this cycle as something different. As partners, perhaps, or as something we have not yet named." He looked at the crowd, at the Valorans whose skin showed every color imaginable. Fear, hope, curiosity, anger, all mixed together. "I must confess something to you all," the Emperor continued. "Our empire has been stagnant. We reached the height of our power and stopped climbing. We built perfect systems and forgot how to fix them when they broke. We became so certain of our superiority that we stopped learning." "Bah!" Murmurs filled the hall. Some Valoran's skin flashed with disagreement, but many showed thoughtful blue. "Then humans arrived," the Emperor said. "Primitive by our standards. Weak. Short-lived. But they saved our city when we could not. They saw solutions we had missed. They questioned assumptions we had forgotten we were making. And when some of us responded with fear and violence, they responded with courage and forgiveness." He gestured to the humans. "I owe them an apology. All of them. But especially the one my daughter chose." Taemin felt everyone's eyes turn to him. His face grew hot. "Taemin," the Emperor said. "Come forward." Taemin walked through the crowd on shaking legs. He climbed the steps to stand before the Emperor. Up close, he could see how ancient those eyes were, how much wisdom and sadness they held. "You saved my city," the Emperor said. "You defended your people with words, when weapons would have failed. You risked your life to stop a conspiracy, and you earned my daughter's loyalty, which is no small thing." "Of course," Taemin said. "My daughter claimed you before this entire court," the Emperor said. "She said you were hers. She nearly died protecting you. Now I ask, do you accept her claim? Not out of duty or politics, but because you want to?" The hall was completely silent. Taemin could hear his own heartbeat. He looked at Ares. Her skin had gone pale with tension. "Yes," Taemin said. "I accept." Ares's skin exploded with gold so bright it lit the entire hall. She moved to stand beside Taemin, and her hand found his. The Emperor's skin showed something that might have been amusement. "Then I accept it too," the Emperor said. "My daughter's choice. And more than that, I accept what it means. That Valorans and humans can stand together, can learn from each other, can protect each other." He turned to face Heijin. "Ambassador, I propose something more than the trade agreement we discussed. I propose a true partnership, joint research facilities, cultural exchanges, Valoran and human crews working together. We have much to learn from each other." Heijin stepped forward, her face showing careful diplomat neutrality. But Taemin could see the excitement in her eyes. "The United Earth government will be honored to accept such a partnership, Emperor Velthar. We have much to offer each other." "Then let us begin," the Emperor said. The hall erupted with sound. Valoran's skin flashed every color imaginable. Some still showed skeptical red or fearful white, but many glowed with hopeful gold and curious blue. Change was coming, and not everyone welcomed it. But it was coming regardless. Over the next weeks, everything changed quickly. Human scientists arrived in larger numbers, bringing equipment and ideas. Valoran researchers traveled to Earth for the first time, amazed by humanity's young and chaotic civilization. Joint facilities were established in neutral space stations. Jiwan led a team combining human and Valoran medical technology. Within a month, they had created treatments for diseases that had plagued both species. Captain Do-hyun commanded the first mixed crew vessel, half human and half Valoran, designed to explore regions neither race had reached alone. And Taemin stayed on the Valoran homeworld, living in the palace, learning their language and customs. He officially became Princess Aris's cultural liaison, teaching Valorans about humanity and learning about their ancient empire. But mostly, he spent time with Ares. They walked in gardens where human flowers now grew beside Valoran crystal plants. They studied together, sharing knowledge that their peoples had never combined before. They argued sometimes about small things and large ones, learning that two very different people could disagree and still respect each other. Slowly, carefully, they fell in love. It wasn't like human love stories. Valorans didn't express emotion the same way. Their skin colors said more than words ever could. And Taemin was still learning that language, still making mistakes. But Ares was patient, and her skin glowed gold so often that other Valorans teased her about it. 6 months after the lunar cycle ended, Taemin and Ares stood together on a platform orbiting the Valoran homeworld. Behind them, a mixed crew of humans and Valorans prepared for a mission to explore an uncharted nebula. Before them, representatives from both species gathered to see them off. "Are you ready?" Ares asked. Her skin glowed with excited orange. "I don't know," Taemin admitted. "I'm still not used to being important." "You saved a city," Ares reminded him. "Stopped a conspiracy. Helped forge an alliance between species. When will you accept that you're extraordinary?" "When you accept that you are," Taemin replied. Ares laughed. "Then we will never agree." "We agree on the important things," Taemin said. "That learning is better than knowing. That change is better than stagnation. That being different makes us stronger together." "Yes," Ares said. Her skin went deep gold mixed with violet, the colors she showed only for him. "We agree on those things." Heijin approached them. She looked tired, but happy. The past months of negotiation had worn on her, but the results were worth it. "The Council has approved the next phase," she said. 3 more joint research stations, cultural exchange programs, and they're officially recognizing your position. Taemin, you're now humanity's first ambassador to the Valoran Empire." Taemin blinked. "Ambassador? But you're the ambassador." "I'm returning to Earth," Heijin said. "Someone needs to manage things from our side, and you're needed here." With her, she nodded to Ares. "You've done more for human Valoran relations than 1,000 diplomats could have, just by being yourself. By showing them that humans are worth knowing." She saluted him, which felt strange and wonderful and terrifying all at once. Then, she left them alone. Taman looked at Ares. "An ambassador," he said. "Me. An engineer who just wanted to fix things." "You did fix things," Ares said. "You fixed a reactor. You fixed a broken alliance. You fixed my father's fear of change." Her skin sparkled. "And you fixed my loneliness. I didn't even know I was lonely until I met you." "I was lonely too," Taman admitted. "I thought I was happy just fixing machines. But there's so much more than that. So much to learn and see and experience. Thank you for showing me that." They stood together, watching stars that belonged to both their peoples now. The nebula they would explore glowed in the distance, full of mysteries waiting to be solved. "What do you think we'll find out there?" Ares asked. "I don't know," Taman said. "But we'll find it together. Humans and Velorans. Different perspectives, different strengths. We'll see things neither of us would see alone. That's what I love about you," Ares said. Her skin glowed so bright it rivaled the stars. "You see possibility everywhere. You never let fear stop you from trying. That's what I love about you," Taman replied. "You were brave enough to stand up to your entire civilization, to claim a human in front of the whole court, to risk everything for what you believed was right." They stood in comfortable silence. Behind them, the mixed crew worked together, human and Veloran voices blending. Around them, space stations held scientists from both species, sharing knowledge that would benefit everyone. And ahead of them, infinite possibilities waited. The universe was vast. Neither humans nor Velorans could explore it alone. But together, they could reach further than either had ever dreamed. Taman smiled. Once, he had been just an engineer who fixed broken things. Now he was an ambassador, a bridge between species, and the chosen companion of an alien princess who had declared before her entire court that he was hers. Life was strange and wonderful and full of surprises, and he wouldn't have it any other way.